Hey everybody, Michael with the Sky's the Limit Aviation Channel here. Join me this afternoon as I fly the GLAVN1 RNAV arrival and shoot the ILS 26 right approach into Atlanta. Sit back and enjoy the ride. Let's get this video started. So we're currently sitting at flight level 350. We're about to enter the GLAVN1 RNAV arrival path. The first waypoint is Romeo Uniform Sierra Sierra Alpha, and we're going to go ahead and descend down to flight level 300 at that point. So we're going to cross RUSSA at 30,000 feet, and we've got our FMS up, and as you can see our path here, so we've got RUSSA, RUTTH, JKSON, MADDX. So we're also going to be crossing GLAVN at 14,000 feet because we're landing west today, 26 right. So that's already programmed into the FMS. We'll be continuing down until we reach Hotel Oscar Golf Golf Golf. We're going to cross that at 12,000 feet. We'll be crossing KLOWD at 10,000, continuing our descent on the flight path. And we'll cross KYMMY at 6,000, KEAVY at 5, BAMBU at 4,000. And then on final, AJJAY will be our waypoint where we would normally call into the tower for landing clearance, and we're going to cross that at 2,700 and 180 knots. So we'll pick the video back up when we start our descent down. Okay, we've hit our top of descent, and we're starting our descent down to flight level 300 to cross RUSSA. We'll stay at 30,000 feet, and then as we get closer to GLAVN, we'll hit and cross that at 250 knots and 14,000 feet. If you look at the Navigraph chart for the GLAVN1 RNAV arrival, you see that that is a mandatory crossing. So per FAA regulations, you must cross at 14,000 feet and 250 knots. Normally, if you're in contact with air traffic control, and we would be with Atlanta Center at this point, they usually just tell you to descend at pilot's discretion to 14,000. And as you get closer to the airport, they'll give you other altitude restrictions to follow as you're coming into the Atlanta area. So we'll go ahead and continue our descent, and when we get closer to the top of descent to cross GLAVN at 14,000, we'll go ahead and pick the video back up at that point. See you in a few. Okay, we've started our descent down to 14,000 feet, and as you can see on the flight map on the center console of the aircraft, it's set to cross GLAVN at 14,000. At this point along our flight plan, we're within the jurisdiction of Atlanta Center, so they'll be giving us call-outs for turns and altitude restrictions. I have everything already, like I said, pre-programmed into the FMS, so I'm going to let the FMS go ahead and fly it all the way down, and we'll just act as if ATC is giving us crossing restrictions and turns going into the airport. We'll pick things back up when we have reached GLAVN. Okay, we're just over GLAVN, and we're making the turn to the next waypoint, which is STHRN, and then HOGGG, where we will descend down to 12,000 feet. We're going to go ahead and keep the video running all the way till we arrive in Atlanta. To get our speed decreased down to 250 knots. And about 10 nautical miles, we will start another descent to cross our next restriction. For the arrival into Atlanta, we normally maintain 250 knots until around KLOWD, and then drop it down to 210 knots, and that's usually for separation when there's other traffic in the air. And starting down to 12,000 feet. Started our Left-hand turn to RAIN. We'll maintain 12,000 feet and then descend down to 10,000 feet at KLOWD and 210 knots. I'm going to turn the VNAV off. I love this FMS, but sometimes, as far as the speeds go, it doesn't want to cooperate, so I'll just turn off VNAV and make adjustments manually. Crossing RAIN at 12,000, and then we'll start another descent down to 10,000, and then we'll start configuring the aircraft for landing. Go ahead and start down to 10,000 feet. And decrease our speed down to 210 knots. Next waypoint is going to be swept. The VNAV on again. I don't think we'll get any more bugs with the speed at this point. Give it a little speed brake to bleed off some speed. Off some more speed. and down to KEAVY. And we're going to go ahead and turn on our radio stack and turn on NAV1. There we have our ILS frequency programmed in. It's 110.10. As you can see, we've already picked up the ILS. I'm going to go ahead and slow it down to 180 knots. And making the turn to HAINZ. Down to 4,000 for BAMBU. Got the airport off in the distance. There you see the glide slope has started to kick in down here. We are lined up with the runway, but we're still above the glide slope right now. I'm going to go ahead and arm our speed brakes for landing. Got the runway. And go ahead and dial in 2,700 feet for AJJAY. ahead and drop our gear. And we're going to hit the approach, and that'll descend us down. And go to flaps full. Go ahead and take it off autopilot.
Don't sink. Don't sink. Don't sink. Don't sink. Don't sink. Don't sink. Don't sink.
A little bit right of center, but welcome to Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport. Current local time is 7:36 p.m. Clear the runway, landing lights off, taxi lights on. Go ahead and turn our NAV1 off. Go ahead and clean up our plane. Speed brakes down as we taxi via the Victor Loop. And as always, Flight Simulator is not a perfect game, but it's a pretty damn good simulation. And we'll go ahead and park here on the T gates at gate 11. And we'll go ahead and power down the aircraft. And lights off, nav stays on. And that's going to do it for this video for today. I hope you enjoyed it. Please make a comment, like, subscribe. Support the channel definitely by subscribing. And that's going to do it. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you in the next video. Take care now. Bye-bye.